Sit back and throw one back with your pinkies in the air and a middle finger to the world. And join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in professional wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and give us a big old thumbs up. And now, without further ado, let's look back on this day in pro wrestling history. Woo, daddy! It is January 18th, and we're going to start off like we always do on a positive note. This is your pro wrestling birthdays. 1894, one member of the Goldust Trio and a promoter that changed the world, Toots Mondt. 1946, Pero Aguayo. 1954, the man with $1 million laugh and $1 million smile, Ted DiBiase. 1969, they say he walks alone, Dave Bautista. And last but not least, 1980, I hear he's got a hot Asian wife, Carl Machine Gun Anderson. Of course, on the flip side of the coin, deaths in professional wrestling for January 18th. 2003, The Original Sheik. 2005, Pistol Pez Watley. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. On to your pro wrestling history highlights for January 18th. 1963, Dominic Bravo and Ron Etcherson defeat Mike Sharp and John Wright for the Stampede International Tag Team titles. 1967, Billy Robinson defeats Billy Joyce to win the British Heavyweight title in Manchester, England. 1970, Monster Ruzumov, aka Andre the Giant, and Michael Nader defeat Great Katsu and Thunder Sayama to win the vacant International Pro Wrestling World Tag Team titles in Japan. 1971, Ivan Koloff pins WWF World Heavyweight Champion Bruno Sammartino to win the title. 1981, Tony Salazar defeats Sangria Chicana to win the NWA World Middleweight title in Monterrey, Mexico. 1982, Jerry Lawler wins his 19th AWA Southern Heavyweight title, defeating Dutch Mantell in Memphis, Tennessee. 1986, one of my favorite tag teams of all time, Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig, defeat Jimmy Garvin and Steven Regal for the AWA World Tag Team titles. 1990, Javier Cruz defeats El Dandy for the Mexican National Middleweight title. 1993, the second edition of WWF Monday Night Raw airs live from the Manhattan Center. Mr. Perfect wrestles Terry Taylor but is attacked by Ric Flair during that match. In return, during Ric Flair's match with Tito Santana, Mr. Perfect interferes. Flair then challenges Perfect to a match next week, and a loser leaves the WWF. 1996, Ultraman 2000 defeats Psychosis for the Mexican National Welterweight title in Tijuana, Mexico. 1998, the WWF holds the 11th annual Royal Rumble pay-per-view in San Jose, California. Steve Austin, who entered at the number 24 spot, wins his second straight Royal Rumble match in a row, last eliminating The Rock. Those were your pro wrestling history highlights for January 19th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.